Be strong.
Welcome in, Roster the People, Week 11. Sorry, this is going to be fast because we got like 10 minutes. So we're going to do this fast. Neil Smith, Jason Draven, you know who we are. First question, Kyler or Burrow? Go.
Murray. Like the rushing floor too much. Ravens D has actually been pretty good. I like Burrow. He's been on the come up, but I like that rushing floor that Murray gets you every week.
Yeah, the Ravens D is a playoff defense as long as they're not playing Cleveland. That's
an understatement.
As long as they don't play Cleveland, it's fine. Don't worry about it. So no, I'm fine with that. Go ahead and sub out your Thursday night player and play the guy playing on Sunday. Even though on aggregate, I prefer Burrow, but
yeah.
I understand being a little afraid of this tonight. So feel free to play Skyler. That rhymes, Marge, and you know it rhymes. David Montgomery or Joe Mixon, PPR?
Montgomery.
Yeah, I think I have it the same way.
Because again, Mixon is facing the Ravens D, and the only runner to do well has been Ford, pretty much.
Yeah, Montgomery confirmed. That's not the right one. Burrow or Stroud?
Stroud.
All right, Stroud it is. Yep, Stroud.
I like that matchup too much, man. I feel like that could have the potential to be the best game of the week with high scoring, a lot of active players. No defense, really. No defense to be found in that game. No.
Daniel, the way you wrote this.
Which Daniel?
Really hard. You know which Daniel. Okay. This is not even the bad one. This is the easy one. Connor, Gus, Ford, Lockett. Pick 3 of these.
Yeah.
Pick 3 of them, and then there's a kicker question in there. No, not you, Daniel Everhart. Not you. The other Daniel. He knows what he did.
Go Waddle, Lockett, and then Gus.
Waddle, Lockett, Connor.
Okay. Yeah, those are the 2 that I'm between. I was between Gus.
Waddle, Lockett, Connor is my answer to that question. And then the kicker one because it's Thursday.
McPherson.
Yeah,
actually, McPherson. I really like Elliott, but it might actually. It should. Maybe we should do Elliott because it is the Chiefs, and the Chiefs has actually been stopping teams.
Connor Ford, Saquon Adams. You can't tell that is not a Thursday question. Do you see my point, Jason? This is also Kirk, Devonta, Puka, Warren. Okay.
Nobody on there's
That's not Thursday. Aaron Jones, Ford. That's not a Thursday question either. Okay.
Yeah, if you haven't told,
this is. We will get back to those, but
we do the Thursday first because they kick off.
PPR pick 2. Well, Brown obviously. Brown and Thielen.
Brown and Kirk.
Sure. It's not Thursday, so it's fine.
Yeah.
That's not a Thursday question. Okay, here we go. What up, Bill? Mitchell tonight over Mixon. What? No. There's no way I'm gonna play Keaton Mitchell over any of that.
I might do it over Mixon, but it's really if you're chasing upside.
That's a different question. Sir, I'm gonna let you off because you did use semicolons. He did use semicolons this time. He also apologized in advance.
He knew.
Okay. All right. That's all the Thursday questions. And I apologize for how disjointed that was, but we had like 10 minutes to do it. There's still 5 minutes to go. So if you've got a Thursday night question, get it in because you have 5 minutes, and I am paying attention, making sure we get there. So okay, now we'll go back to the top. Okay. It's like shattering my brain. 2 running back. So set my lineup. Two running backs, 2 wide receivers, and a flex. Set the lineup. Connor, Ford, Saquon, Adams, DK, Dell. Okay. And then there's a semicolon. So that's the end of that.
So I'm going to go Connor Barkley, Dell Moore, Adams. Yes.
Connor, Saquon, Dell, Adams, DK.
Oh, you're not going back to Moore with potential of Fields playing?
No.
Okay.
Not really. Moore's had 2 good games all year, and the rest of it is schlock. And it doesn't really matter who the quarterback is. So if he's going to score a 40 again, I'll look like a clown. But statistically, I'm on the right here. Okay. Oh wait, there was more to that. Yeah, there's a whole other question in here. Standard. All right, 2 running backs and a flex. So Etienne. Yeah, I'm playing Etienne, and I'm going to play Ford. And then I'm going to play Hollywood. Either Hollywood or
Brown.
Noah Brown.
Yeah.
But Noah Brown's questionable.
Yeah, he's missed 2 practices.
So
but
he's probably not playing. I'm not playing Madison, and I really don't want to play the Gus Bus tonight.
Yeah, it's going to be... I'm more worried about Ford with DTR. It's my only issue there.
I'm less worried about that because I think they actually make an effort to really run the ball. So I think he's going to get volume. And if they can move the ball at all, it'll be fine.
Yeah, I'll go Etienne, Ford, Brown if he goes. If he doesn't go, then I'll probably... Well, dang it.
The reason it's relevant is you have 3 minutes to put Gus in.
Yeah, I'm going to play Gus, go Etienne, and then you can switch out Brown and Ford. Okay. Then you're safe because it's standard in the running backs.
Yeah, and that's kind of the issue is you are just guessing who's most likely to score a touchdown here. Okay. Standard pick 2. Okay. Puka, Christian Kirk, Deontay Johnson, or Devonta Smith.
Kirk and Smith.
I'm gonna play Kirk. We agree on. It's the other ones that are really close and standard because you're guessing on who's gonna score a touchdown. I'm gonna go Kirk and Puka. And then, assuming Achane is out, I wouldn't assume that. Based on everything I saw today, Achane's probably playing.
Yeah, looks like
so. Warren, Hubbard, or Ty Chandler. Well, it's probably irrelevant because I think Achane's going to play. If he wasn't, I'm playing Warren.
Yeah.
Okay, half PPR.
With Chandler, but again, it's Madison. Probably also looks like it's trending to play that way. So.
Okay, yeah, half PPR. Deontay.
Correct.
PPR, Hollywood, Rice, Warren, Brian Robinson, or James Cook. Okay, I'm eliminating Rice entirely.
It's Robinson for me.
It's either Robinson or Warren.
Yeah. The big push for me right now is the fact that Gibson's missed 2 days with practice, and it looks like it's turf toe.
Yeah, but I don't know that necessarily helps. I've got Robinson 3 spots higher in my rankings. We'll go Robinson. That's fine. It's really close. I don't think you can necessarily make between Warren and Robinson. I don't know that you can make that decision wrong. It should be pretty comparable. Okay. Purdy or Russ?
Purdy. When he has all 3 of his weapons, he's been great.
Yeah, I also have Purdy. Okay. PPR pick 2. Aaron Jones, Ford, Watson, or Henderson. And I'm assuming that's Darrell Henderson.
Yeah.
Well, it's Jones for sure. And then I'm probably going to play Ford because Watson terrifies me, and I'm not playing Darrell Henderson.
Yeah, it's going to be Ford, and then it's close between Jones and Henderson, but I'll go Jones. I'm hoping he gets they need to start passing to him. That's my issue. Is why I like Henderson, because they actually pass the ball to him.
Yeah,
Jones hasn't been getting that, and it's driving me crazy. He had one good game, and then they shipped him off to.
Well, it's because that's a bad team. Tua is the answer to the next question.
It's Murray for me.
Oh, that's insanity. That's the
H-man's back. They can be able to. I'm expecting
and
a lot
they'll throw
of
lovely dump offs to him as he prances into the end zone. PPR, 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers, 1 flex, 1 tight end.
Setting the lineup again here.
Yeah, set my lineup. Okay. Swift for sure.
Achan for sure. Lamb for sure.
Yeah. So
McBride
Swift and
for
Achan
sure.
are the running backs. And then the wide receivers I'm going to play Lamb and Godwin.
Yep.
Okay, so really it's pick a flex.
Well, also tight end first.
I'm going to play McBride.
Okay, wanted to double check there.
Pick a flex.
Yep. Between Barkley, Harris, and Ridley.
Saquon, I think. Yes, Saquon. That's my choice.
It's PPR. God, so close.
It's either Saquon or Najee. Those are my choices.
I know those are the two that I'm between. So I would probably go Harris here, but again, I don't think you go completely crazy on either of them.
Yeah, I'm gonna stick with Saquon, as ugly as it is. Okay. I think we did this. Yeah, this was Thielen and Brown. Okay, we did that. Is Pierce going to do something this season, or would I drop him? Oh, I'd probably drop him at this point.
Yeah.
I think that you'd be well within your rights to go ahead and drop him at this point. That's completely fine. Okay, we did that. All right, Shane. Trading Saquon at the deadline. Was wondering what I can expect to get in return. Looking at RBs to target. Okay. It's hard to trade things within position like this, but it might be doable.
Your best shot's probably going to be Bijan, but I just don't think the other ones you're going to be able to get without adding a bit.
Yeah, you might have to staple something to it. You might have to staple something to that. Hang on, I'm doing this thing where the people make me do called reading on camera.
So good at
it. I love it. Yeah. Okay. I have to double check something in my rankings for the playoffs. That's what this is all. That's what's happening here, folks. I apologize for the delay.
So Robinson has the best matchup. Then it's Taylor. Then it's Hall.
Yeah, well, any of those would be upgrades, but
Correct.
The problem is that whoever you're talking to might know that.
Well, and on that same point, it's also the fact that offense is horrible.
Yeah, that's the other problem you have working against you, Shane, is that everybody knows that Daniel Jones is done for the year, and that's probably going to be DeVito the rest of the way unless he himself gets hurt. So you have a problem now where you have a good player trapped on a terrible offense that has no quarterback in a lost season situation. Any of those things would be upgrades. But I got to tell you, I don't think you're going to be able to trade Saquon for the most attainable. I agree would be Bijan. Taylor would be next. Hall would be is the least attainable. I would take any of them, but you're probably going to have to give up something else with Saquon. It's going to have to be Saquon with something to make this happen. So it's a question of I don't know what the rest of your team is. So that's kind of where we are. Like you'd have to take Saquon. You'd have to give me like Saquon and like some sort of wide receiver or something. Like not a huge amount but I'm telling you, rest of the season, Breece Hall is like a top 5 running back. Whether he can, whether or not the Jets will cripple him is sort of immaterial. He's going to be valued that way. Taylor is in the top 10, and Bijan is basically right at the bottom of the top 10. And Saquon's around like 15. So you're talking about trading what's like a mid-level RB2 at this point for an RB1. So you're going to have to give something else with it. There's no way you're going to be. You could offer that 1-for-1s and see if people bite, but I really doubt it. You're trying to trade him on name. So if you play with simpletons who love Saquon Barkley, sure, maybe that'll work. But I think you're going to have to take a depth piece off your bench and also include that with Saquon to make that happen. It is if I drop Pierce. Yeah, you could drop, like I said, you could feel free to drop Pierce. You can feel free to drop Pierce and pick up Mitchell if you want. The thing about Mitchell that I don't like is that Mitchell has got all of this on no volume. No volume. He's the new CJ Spiller. He gets 4 touches a game and it's an 80-yard touchdown, and if that doesn't happen, you are screwed. But Pierce is like a boat anchor at this point that has lost his job to 30-plus-year-old Devin Singletary. So I don't know what to tell you about that. Nothing. No, there is no good. I'm not expecting some sort of second half charge from Pierce. So if you want to take a shot on Mitchell, hoping that he could get some additional work in the offense, I mean, sure. I don't necessarily hate it. All right. I have Christian McCaffrey, Brees, and Monty. I don't know what Jetta's is.
Just Jefferson.
Oh, okay. Should I trade away, please? I would need to know who your current quarterback is, but probably not.
I don't think that's Justin. I think it's Khalil.
Oh, then no.
If it is Justin, yeah, it would be.
If it is Justin, I need to know who your other quarterback is, and then maybe, or who your current quarterback is, and then maybe. But if that's Khalil Herbert, then I'm going to say no. Say no. I do like the idea that Sutton is seeing more targets because his value was completely propped up on touchdowns. He's got 8, which is not sustainable. But he is the new Michael Thomas. He is literally, that's his job, is to be current iteration of Michael Thomas. But no, I don't think I would do that deal. The fall from Brees to Bijan is too much, and I know you'd get an additional depth piece in Herbert, but I don't know what that's
the only plus for Bijan here is the fact that he does have a slightly better playoff schedule.
But you agree with me, that's a pass, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think this person has come up with a handful of different trades, and I know I'm horrible, but I'm like, no, that's not something that I believe in. You're trading away what you want, and you need to be focusing on what you have, what your weaknesses are, and trading for better players. And then in all the trades that I've seen, he's been giving up the best player in the deal.
Yeah.
So that always hurts you.
I would have played Howell for the record here. This came in right at the cut line.
Yeah, I'd be Howell too. The rushing is there. That's the big seller for me is how much he's been rushing, and the fact
you made the right choice, Anthony. That's what we would have done. I'd have played Howell. It's fine. Okay. Flex pick 2. Well, I'm not playing Flowers. What a weird flex. Collins and Kirk.
Yeah, it's really close though. I really want to play McBride. I might play McBride over Collins.
But it's not a Thursday player, so it's fine.
Yeah.
Oh, Daniel found a Thursday question at the deadline. Sorry, Daniel, I didn't see this. This came in at the deadline.
And it's Robinson.
Yeah, and it's Robinson anyway. And it's Robinson. I'd have played Robinson too. What up? I like how every week he has another alias. Jose, I love it. Keep adding aliases. It's a great joke. This was also right at the deadline. I think he means buy. Yeah. I would probably play Spears over Keaton Mitchell.
I don't know. Again, it's depending on what you're chasing. And at that point, I'm fine firing up Mitchell and hoping that he has that big play again.
Yeah, but Henry's questionable. Hasn't practiced all week.
It's also Henry. Yeah, he can get as much veteran rest as he wants.
A lot of people are benching Burrow. Yeah, yo mama. A lot of people because it's Thursday and it's crap.
Yeah, and I mean, on that same point.
Hold it real quick. It is Khalil Herbert, and that doesn't change my answer. What were you going to say? Go ahead.
Lost my train of thought completely.
All right. Something about
Don't
Joe
remember
Burrow?
what I was talking about.
You were saying something about Joe Burrow.
Oh, it's just, he has been playing very well, but this is one of the tougher matchups. It really scares me, and I think this game could very easily be one of the lower scoring ones. Hey, Polo.
What up, Polo? All right. Trevor Lawrence is my QB. I traded Nico for Sam Howell. Problem is I need another good runner. I'm thinking about trading Jacobs.
Don't like trading Nico for Hal, but it works. Hal's been very good. It's just not who I'd be aiming for.
Would you trade Jacobs? That's an interesting question. Hang on. It's kind of where I'm. Yeah. Jacobs is a top 10 RB. I mean, given after they fired everybody, the gentleman who's running that team now is literally just flatly stating, I am going to make Josh Jacobs run the football all the time because he's the heart and soul of the team. And they've done that, and they've won 2 games doing it. So I don't think I would trade Jacobs. I actually think Jacobs is more of a buy target than a sell target.
Correct. However, let me see. Looking at... okay, we're not going to include this week because why? I'm going to pull out whatchamacallit. So we look at... if you're looking at buying with Jacobs, well, an easy one would be Higgins.
That's not enough.
Injured, great matchup.
As much as I like Higgins, that's just not enough.
I understand, but
you'd have to get Higgins and something. I'm not just doing that straight up. Like, you'd have to give me Higgins and a thing.
Pittman, you could probably get Lockett for relatively cheap.
You can get Lockett for a lot less than Cortland Sutton or Josh Jacobs.
I know, but I'm talking just players that I'm looking at buying right now.
Yeah, but I mean, you gotta. I'm aiming higher up the table than that. If I'm gonna give up Jacobs, like I'm looking at things.
The player who has the best schedule for wide receivers is CeeDee Lamb.
Yeah,
and I don't think you can do that.
You'd have to. Might not be able to do that, but I agree. That's a good one. I would also be looking at like Keenan Allen though. Like Keenan Allen has a good schedule down the stretch. I know he's got a shoulder thing, but I'm not overly worried about it. The one that the dream would be AJ Brown. And you try to convince somebody that his production is unsustainable. Some rube that doesn't know what they have. That's what I would want. And if I could get that, I'd give you Josh Jacobs and maybe a crap wide receiver off my bench if I had something like that. But I mean, if you're trying to find like what's fair,
Pittman
is fair, but I feel like I lose that deal if I'm the one giving up Jacobs.
Correct. But you're looking at, let's see, Buccaneers, Titans, Bengals, Steelers.
Yeah, no, it's a good schedule. Like no one's debating that. But he's on the bye this week too, so you can't use him this week.
Again, it's a cheaper option if you're.
Yeah, I think you could do better than that. I think you could probably do better. What would also be very interesting is trying to get Jefferson, but the problem with that is that now you got this weird situation where Dobbs is quarterback, and I don't know how I feel about that. I might be Lamb would be like right where I want to be. You could definitely get Kupp because people are shook. You could also definitely get Puka for the same reason, but I don't know that I want to live that life. I think I'd be happier. Yeah, but I assume you play a flex, Polo. And most weeks that I'd play all 3 of them. See what I mean? Like I assume you're playing a flex here. So I'd probably be starting all 3 unless you have some ballin' ass wide receivers on this team. And at that point, my God, like, what are we doing? Like, all 3 of those guys are like top 10 RBs rest of the season. you waited that long on Taylor too. So it's like Jacobs I have as my RB8 rest of the way. Taylor is 6, Hall is 4. So if you're trading any of that, you're trading a top 10 running back. Know what you have. Like I'd want a top 10 wide receiver. Pittman's not a top, as much as I love Michael Pittman. We know this. He's not a top 10 wide receiver.
Part of why I was pitching that one to you because I figured that would be about where you were looking.
I'd stay put unless somebody wants to give me like AJ Brown or CeeDee Lamb or Stephon Diggs because he got 6 and people are upset.
Like you need, like we've touched on, somebody.
Okay, so you definitely don't want Higgins. So that's so Chase is your best wide receiver. Okay, so
Are you kidding me? Oh, sorry, injury to and Mark Andrews.
Yeah, it's in there. We'll get there in a second. I want to finish this question, and then we'll do that. Yeah.
Gus Edwards touchdown.
I cannot read. Of course it is. Of course it is. Why wouldn't
just
it be?
letting you know?
Of course it is. Why wouldn't it be?
It's only 3 for 5 and a touchdown.
Of course. That sounds exactly like Gus Edwards. That's the exact Gus Edwards stat line. Yeah, Chase is like my number 2 wide receiver the rest of the way. So things that I would want for, I'll give you a short list of things that I would want for Josh Jacobs. Tyreek Hill, AJ Brown, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Stephon Diggs, Keenan Allen, CeeDee Lamb. Those are the slam dunks. Those are my slam dunks. It's 6 players. I would take any of those 6 players. Everything else is a discussion. Cooper Kupp is a discussion. Brandon Ayuk is a discussion. Justin Jefferson is a discussion. Puka is a discussion. Devontae is a discussion. Pittman's a discussion. Waddle's a discussion. You see my point? Everything that's not one of those 6 guys that I listed is a discussion. So that's what I would do. If somebody was willing to give me one of those, I would do it. But beyond that, no. And yes, Mark Andrews is down. Gus Edwards scores. Hooray. Okay, we're contractually obligated to do this.
Want to hear your take because you know who if you watch the Monday show, you know who I'm going with here.
I don't
see the wheels are turning. I can't right around that head.
My ability to read is very much theoretical today.
Control F and then search.
No. Yeah, I don't want to play them either. Yes, I think I'm going Miami here. Yeah.
That is where I am going, not only for this week, but pretty much moving forward.
Yeah, it's going to be either Miami or Pittsburgh. Take your pick between Miami or Pittsburgh. But go ahead, do your Miami take. I knew you had one, but go ahead and do it.
It's
People
again
the Monday show.
Really matchup base. They get the Jets this week. Commanders, Titans, Jets, and then unfortunately the Cowboys.
Miami does not play the Jets this week. They play the Raiders.
Sorry. I was already looking ahead. Jets, Commanders, Titans, Jets, Cowboys.
Okay. So yeah, you're looking at Miami rest of the way.
Yeah,
technically that's why I wanted you to do that because yeah, if you want a defense that you could probably just hold and you don't have to worry about this as much, just take Miami. If you want what I think is the best on the list, Pittsburgh. Because it's Pittsburgh versus a guy who doesn't know how to play quarterback.
Oh, for this week, yeah.
Yeah, for 1 week. If you want to continue to stream and you're committed to that bit and you don't want to worry and you want to keep doing it, Pittsburgh is who I would choose over Miami, but Miami is a good choice because Miami's rest of the season should be good.
The only team with better really is the Lions, in my opinion.
Oh, I see. You're playing both Spears and Mitchell because you only can play this league.
I hate this league.
This league makes me want to drink. It's literally like the amount of alcohol I would need to play in that league would put me in a coma. I have a bottle of absinthe over here. That's what this would take. Like it's like I have like real wormwood alcohol off screen over there. That's what that would need. It's basically moonshine. Like that's what that would need. I would need that to play in that league. Okay. All right. Gabe Davis or Pickens rest of season in PPR. I think I want Pickens.
Pickens?
Yeah, I think I want
I
Pickens.
don't know.
Double checking that.
Let's
Yeah,
see.
I got it as Pickens. Pickens by a little bit. Okay. And is Ramondre a buy target? This is much harder. This is a much harder question. This is a real.
theory,
This is a real question. I appreciate this because this is an actual like real question. Like
in theory, he has great matchups after the bye. I mean, the next 3 weeks are
his
solid.
playoff schedule is incredible. So I'm going to give you a kind of of an answer that works like this. Yes, but I value him as an RB2 rest of the way. So it will depend on what you mean by buy target. If you're talking about buying him at his pre-draft value, then no. But if you're talking about I can acquire him at something around RB20 value, then yes. Then very much so.
So give him an example of what that would like. Give a wide receiver that you could straight up trade for Stevenson as an example. Because you know it's difficult to get in between the
Amari
actual.
Cooper.
Even that's going to be a little harder with DTR.
Fine. DJ Moore.
Man, you're a lot higher up than I am. I was saying like
okay. Deontay Johnson.
Okay.
Because it's PPR.
That's a little closer. Yeah. Johnson, McLaurin is kind of where I'm thinking. Let me see about other ones. Get that out of my face.
I mean, any of these would be perfectly. Nico Collins, though that might be a little tricky. Deontay, I might be willing to do Christian Kirk just because I don't want to deal with it. Olave for the same reason. I don't want to deal with it. If I could afford to lose it. What about? I know you're. What would you give up? Would you give up what? Like Lockett? Or are you going to keep Lockett?
I can't. The
depends
only
how
reason I
bad
can't
you
is because
are
that playoffs, man. That the playoffs are so good for him.
Yeah, he does have really good playoff schedule. And I was going to say Debo, but it's the same thing. Debo also has a really good playoff schedule.
Yeah,
that's why I was talking about Ayuk earlier. That's why it's a conversation. Like if you could give up Jacobs and get Ayuk, it's a conversation. But the problem with that is it's not.
What about
they
Sutton?
spread it around too much when they're all healthy. I don't like that.
Do you think Sutton for Stevenson you could do?
It depends on the skill level of the people that you're playing with. If you're playing with people that are just going to read box scores, yes. If you're going to play with people that actually know about what Cortland Sutton's about, then no. Like that's going to depend on the sophistication level of your league in a lot of ways. I think you could do Godwin, but I don't really want to do that. I think you could do I would definitely attempt to do DeAndre Hopkins. Holy crap, I would love to do that. That'd be a great move. But I don't think anybody of sense is going to actually do that. Would you do Thielen? Because their schedule gets way harder.
And it hasn't been great. I do like the fact that Reich has taken back over play calling duties, but I have to see it again. Yeah, I'm willing to trade Thielen for whatever you can get at this point.
Yeah, I would possibly trade. I would do Thielen. So it's like one of those deals. And then just so we're clear, like I have Ramondre at like RB21 rest of season. So that's kind of what you're looking for. So it's whatever wide receiver is equivalent to an RB2. So in reality, you're talking about something like a low end wide receiver 2, high end wide receiver 3. And it's going to depend on kind of what you have. So I don't know what you have on your team that would fit that bill that you could afford to lose. So that's kind of where it is. But that's if you're going to acquire him, that's the price range. And I would consider doing it at that price range, but not more than that. Nothing more than that. All right. Yeah. Questionable to return officially. That's fun. Super fun. Dr. Squatch, you're not that late.
Yeah, you're early
fine.
today.
That's for by years. I was gonna say by recent history, you're actually significantly early. All right.
Reese.
I'm big on Jacobs only because of the coaching change.
Yeah, the fact that he asked him what's his favorite place to run.
You got a guy
was
who's
tough.
directly telling people, like, and not once, like consistently telling people, and then backing it up with in-game actions. I'm going to hand the ball to Josh Jacobs 20 times a game. And then he does it. This is why I'm saying, like, normally I don't tell you to listen to coaches. My advice is normally to do whatever the opposite is of what the coach says, because they have no incentive to tell you the truth. This guy is directly telling you what he's going to do and then does it. It's a rare thing in NFL coaching, but he's doing this. And he's literally stated, Josh Jacobs is the future of the Raiders, and that's what I'm going to do for as long as I'm here. I'm just going to feed him the ball. We're going to run the football. We're going to be a run-first team. And then they do it. So I'm big on Jacobs. If that's the usage he's going to get, then yeah, I'm big on Jacobs. And it's not even anything that much to do with Jacobs. I'm big on anybody who's going to get 20 carries a game, man.
20. Let's go to 20 touches. If you're saying 20 touches of any kind in a game,
Yeah.
I'm probably going to be starting you.
Anybody who gets 20 touches is going to be like an RB1 or a wide receiver 1. That's just how that goes, man. It's just volume based. It has nothing to do with that. This is closer.
Yeah.
I'm still going to say no, but that's a lot
because
closer.
Of Sutton. Like if you had a different wide receiver coming in.
Okay, yeah, let's do that little game. Things that I would rather have than that. If I could get like if I could give up Brees and Olave for like this, I don't know what this guy has, obviously, but if I could give up Brees and Olave and get Jacobs and Garrett Wilson, yeah, I'm smashing living crap out of that. I'm gonna break my mouse smashing except on that. So it's like Garrett Wilson would be a huge upgrade. Lockett, I would probably do. I would do like Pittman would be a slam dunk.
Hollywood.
What's that?
Hollywood.
Hollywood, I would consider, but I don't want Hollywood. I do acknowledge he has a good schedule with Kyler Murray back, so that's happening.
That's the caveat, is the fact that if he and Kyler get back on the same page,
yeah,
I might be okay to throw out Olave because clearly him and Carr hate each other.
Well, it's because I have like,
if it was Winston the rest of the way, no way I'm giving up Olave.
Here's the problem. I have Olave as like in the 20s. You know what I mean? So it's like it's just the way it is, man. Like it's just how it goes. Like, and especially if it's freaking Jameis for any length of time, I actually like it more. So I have Olave like in the 20s-ish neighborhood. Sutton is still down in the 30s because Sutton is like the mystery box at this point. He's literally Michael Thomas from years gone by. He has value in the red zone, and if he catches a touchdown, awesome. If he wasn't catching those touchdowns, we wouldn't be having this conversation. Last week, he had a really nice game targets-wise, but go look at his targets any game that isn't last week. So people I'm a little nervous on Sutton. Like, I like the player, but the usage is a little freaky. But like, if I could get Tank Dell as opposed to Sutton, oh, you better believe I'm smashing that. But people that I only bring it up because that's all over the road still. People don't know how to evaluate Tank Dell. That's all over the road. That's a case by case basis. People are
you get wide receiver 1 the rest of the way.
You get that's insanity, but you get vastly different opinions. Is my point. If I could get like McLaurin or Higgins because people are frustrated, I would do that. If I could get like that's a deal I would take. Godwin I would take, even though that's a little closer. Would you take Debo? God, that's
because of the playoffs, yeah.
Yeah, because of the playoff schedule. Like, if my team is going to the playoffs already, yeah, I'd probably take Debo, as irritating as it would be. Don't watch any of those games at that point.
To be fair, it's similar to Olave, though. Like,
I know. It's really...
As
really
an Olave
annoying.
manager, dude drives me insane. You can't watch them play because he needs to get in the end zone.
Boy, he high-pointed the crap out of that football in the end zone last week, though. My God, that was incredible. That's what I'm saying. Like the raw, it's in there. The raw talent's in there. It's in there somewhere. They just got to figure out how to get it out. Because, my God, he does some impressive stuff when they're on the same page. Woo! It's impressive, but yeah, it's really frustrating. I get this question because also like Brees is deeply annoying as a Brees manager. Deeply annoying, and it's not Brees. It's Salah. It's Mr. Clean's rough trade cousin who calls the plays. And I'm sorry,
I was going to say Wilson.
Well,
but yeah, that works too.
Wilson's like just Wilson is like just a thing. The issue is that they're still taking Brees Hall out because Hackett's an idiot and putting in like they were putting in Michael Carter on third down, and then they cut Michael Carter to give Israel Abanikanda more chances. If people didn't see that, by the way, that actually happened. That's a real thing, guys, from Tuesday, is that the Jets cut Michael Carter, stating that they're going to give Israel Abanikanda more chances. So now we're going to take Brees Hall off the field on third down to give it to Abanikanda. And I want to blow my brains out every time I watch this happen. They take Hall off the field in the hurry up, and I'm like, Nathaniel Hackett is the bane of my existence. Like, he's rapidly becoming the new like McDaniels for me, where it's like, I just hate you. Like, I just don't like you. I don't like your face, and I don't like the decisions you make, and I don't like the things that you say, and I just don't like anything you do. Kind of like Ron Rivera. Like, I just don't like you. Ron Rivera is at least a little more likable because as like a person, he's a little more of a likable guy. But like you listen to the things he says and then watch what he does, and it's like, God, I hate you. Like you just don't know what you're doing.
Official, right. Andrew's out.
Well, that's not surprising because of what I'm going to post here in a second. Well, here, I'll just do it since you. There you go. He's going in for X-rays. He's already been ruled out
on crutches.
That ain't good.
Yep. After they made him walk up the stairs.
Of course. Don't be a baby. Walk up the stairs.
Yeah, suck it up, Buttercup.
Tyler Dobbs Fields 6-point passing touchdown. That's a good question.
Murray. Still chasing that upside, man.
Yeah, I don't want to play Fields in his first game back. So I'm going to take that off. Yeah, it's Kyler. Gross. Feel like I need a shower.
I really like all these options, though, to be fair.
Yeah, I kind of feel like I need a shower. That's yeah, I mean, it's Houston's defense. Like, Houston's offense is good. Houston's defense still is not good. So, yeah, that's what we're doing. That's what we're doing. Yeah. Well, what else is on the waivers?
Conklin is who I'd be streaming this week. Well, I guess.
I see. We talked about that on Tuesday, actually. It's the fact that Conklin, like, as ugly as it is, Conklin's like one of the only tight ends that can get you double digits without scoring a touchdown.
Him and Ingram.
And if you just go through his game log, and it's true. It doesn't make a lot of sense, and people don't think it be like it is, but it do. That's just how it is. It's a jacked up little thing we got going on there.
Also,
I almost did a swear there. A real no swear.
12 to 16 weeks, 12 to 16 is real nice.
Yeah, it is real nice for the Jets. That's why I also kind of don't want to give up like on Brees because the schedule's not that bad. You rattled off Miami defense's thing, and you know the Jets are in there twice. You want to know what Miami's not good at? Stopping the run. That's why I'm like, I don't really want to give up on Brees, like just for nothing. Like that's why I'm saying like I'm not just to Mike Lowry. That's why I'm not just giving away the store. Like I get being frustrated, I truly do, but I'm not just gonna give it up. Like you gotta get something good. PPR pick 2. Oh, these are some good options. These are some decent options, sir.
Yeah, I'm actually going to have to go with my rankings for this.
Yeah, I think JJ must be Justin Jefferson, and I don't think he's playing this week.
Correct.
They've already said he's a long shot to play, so I'm taking that out immediately.
Let's see.
Feel like it's
definitely Evans.
I feel like it's going to be Evans and Waddle, but I'm double checking this. Yeah, I think it's Evans
18. Johnson. Oh, 2-4 down. Addison.
Yeah.
Yep. It's going to be Evans and Waddle.
Evans and Waddle. There. Okay. We actually agree. PPR pick 2. Boy, these are some good teams. What is this? This is just bragging. He's got like 4 top 24. He's got 4 of the RBs in the top 24.
Yeah,
3 of them
that's
are in the
tough.
top 10. Well, like, holy crap.
Yeah.
Okay. PPR.
Going
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Achon and Hall.
Yeah. Hall for me for sure. I'm playing Hall. And then
Yeah,
it's
I have all these running backs in the top 12.
a lot of this is really close. Like you are splitting. I actually get the question because you're splitting hairs. Like you're
We
literally
get it.
splitting
You're
hairs.
so blessed at running back. Thanks.
Yeah, thanks, Daniel. Look at this 1%er. Look at this guy with his fully diverse stock portfolio and look at this guy. I would kill for these kind of problems in my life. This diamond tiara is too tight. Oh God. My butler didn't bring me the right kind of caviar. Had to fire him. This is ridiculous. Daniel, what are your wide receivers? How did this happen?
Well, he just did the right wide receivers.
That can't be the same team. I guess theoretically it could be if you're playing by yourself. Like,
well, let's see.
You playing against Chat GPT? Like,
so we probably got Jacobs in the first round.
While you puzzle through that, I'll tell you. Here's the dilemma. I'm playing Hall. Jacobs, I actually have slightly higher, and you know why? We just talked about it at length. Also, he plays Miami. They're gonna run the ball. All of this is like it's all really super close. You're literally splitting hairs at such a level that, yeah, I'm gonna play. I gotta do it. I'm gonna play.
Lamar Jackson is down.
Lovely. That game is just a schlock festival already. Okay. It's Hall for sure, and then I'm gonna answer your question this way, Daniel. I assume you're projected to win. If that's my team. So I'm gonna go ahead and put I'm gonna put Hall in, and then if I'm projected to win, which I assume I am, I'm gonna play Jacobs because he has the best matchup, and you know he's gonna get the volume. So I know what I'm getting. If I think I'm gonna lose,
person with a better matchup is Achon.
No, it's not a
The
better
Raiders
matchup.
suck against the run.
It's actually very close. It's a very close matchup. But I was gonna say the problem with playing Achon is I don't know what his workload is going to be in his first game back. So if I need to swing for the home run ball for some reason, then I guess I would play Achon. He's the one who has the most upside. So the way that I would set this is this. Hall and Jacobs, if I know I need points and I'm going to wear my khaki pants and I'm going to pull my khaki pants up over my ever developing gut.
Oh.
And I'm going to look like my dad. That's what I'm going to do. My dad, the conservative, would set the lineup as Hall and Jacobs. If you're afraid of the Achon usage, you play Hall and Montgomery because you know Montgomery is going to get you something. But if you need to swing for home runs, Hall and Achon. That's the home run hitter lineup. That's the boom bust lineup. That's the I feel like I need to like literally try to hit it out of the park. You play Hall and Achon. That's your upside lineup. What a team. What a team. Hey, real question. Ingram or Laporta? Okay, that's like a real question. That's a non-1%er question.
Well, let's see.
Laporta. Yeah, Laporta. Okay, yeah.
Barely, but
I knew what you meant, Daniel. I wasn't going to make you correct the spelling. I appreciate you cleaning up the spelling, but it is the same team. Look at this guy. How are you projected to lose?
Bad quarterback.
What is going on? Kyron Williams on the IR. Sir. At Flex, you can't really make this decision wrong, but we can do that real quick. So we said it was okay. So real quick, Jason, it's just to reset it. We said play Evans and Waddle. JJ's not playing. So your wide receiver choices are Addison or Deontay. Or you can pick from the running back prize room, which I'm going to do.
Yep.
And I would say it's either Jacobs or Montgomery. And I would prefer Jacobs. If you're going to play Jacobs, then it's between Monty and Achon. You can't make that decision wrong. I have Achon one spot higher in my rankings, 12 and 13 respectively.
Yeah, it's going to be at that point, Jacobs.
God, a Chuck E. Cheese prize case team, like freaking my God, man.
So he must have a bad tight end and a bad.
It's a 10-team league, so that does help. But even in a 10-team league, that team is stacked.
Yeah, it has to be
That is a
bad
stacked
quarterback.
team. There's got to be some bad teams in that league that have no running backs. Like something went awry for some
Yeah, you
people.
need to be
in
trying
that
to
draft.
trade Williams now.
That's actually kind of what I'm thinking. Like that team, you got like a week on the trade deadline, Daniel. I'd be on the sticks. I'd be on my phone trying to broker for some wide receivers. Like, because even when Jefferson comes back, or even in your case, even ancillary pieces, quarterback, tight end, you have a team that's good enough that I would literally be trying to trade for Travis Kelce to win a ship. Because if that team had Travis Kelce, you're going to the chip. No one's stopping you. Like, if you had Kelce,
Actually, I'd be trying to trade either Edison or
sure, you don't need both.
JJ,
So,
and then I'd go after Hawk.
sure, that's not a bad idea. You can upgrade. That's a team where you could. I normally don't suggest this, but that's a team where for real, you could afford the luxury of having one of the better tight ends. You could afford this. Like, you don't need all those running backs, man. I know that's a weird thing to come out of my mouth, but you don't necessarily need 5 of the running backs in the top 20. You'd be better off trading that for either a wide receiver upgrade, or you'd be doing a quarterback upgrade, or you could get a high price tight end for real. And then that's a championship team at that point. You're going like whaling at that point for real. Even in a 10-team league, that team is stacked. In a 12-team league, you've already won. You want to crown them, then crown them. That's which 2 wide receivers this week? Diggs, Waddle, or Tank Dell? Well, I already know your answer to this question, so I know you're going to play Tank Dell.
That's for sure one of them.
Your ride or die.
You know it.
I'm going to play Diggs because I think he's going to get fed.
It's a 2 Ds for me.
Diggs and Dell?
Yes, sir. Oh, and then rest of the season, you only get 2?
It says 2. I don't know what he's playing that this is a choice.
I'm still going to go Diggs and Dell. It's close with Downs, but I mostly because of playoffs again. It's down.
No. Oh, you're doing the second part of the question. I'm not even to the second part of the question. I never answered the first part of the question. For this week, we agree that it's Diggs. You're going to have to play. I think this is going to be one of those games where I don't care that he draws Sauce Gardner. They're throwing him the damn ball. So that's happening this week. And then it's really close between Tank and Waddle. I think I'd probably just play Dell. Yeah.
With Brown potentially out, that also helps.
I don't know that I even care about that so much. It's more the Tank Dell matchup is insane because the Cardinals couldn't stop a little league team. So, yeah, just based on matchup, Diggs and Dell. Which 2 rest? Okay, now we'll do rest of season. Diggs, Waddle, Tank, Deontay, Downs. Diggs is going to be 1. I think it's the same answer. Hang on. Let me double check that.
Yeah, it's between Dell and Downs for me for the second one because, again, Downs has a great rest of season matchup.
He does. I'd like to see him actually be healthy. You got a week to get right. We'll see if it actually happens. He's not a big guy, man. You start taking injuries like that, and it makes me a little nervous. Diggs for sure. And then I'm just double checking the Waddle rest of season rating that I have assigned him. Yeah, that's pretty crap. That's a crap schedule for wide receiver. Yeah, it's Diggs and Dell. Wow. What a world. What a world we live in. Remember last week when we just talked about the Showtime Grill for like 45 minutes, and this week we've done 50 minutes of actual fantasy. What a difference a week makes. So speaking of the Showtime Grill, I'm just
Did we get an update on that?
No, Anthony's got to go. I'm leaving. I'm letting Anthony dig that out of his garage. We could talk about the Floby. We could talk about the Floby as far as things that people don't. No one under 40 will remember. Jason, you even know what a Floby is?
Is it the hair thing?
It's the hair thing. Yeah, it's the
roughly. I have a general idea.
It's the hair thing from the late 80s, early 90s. It's back when people had hockey hair.
I mean, it's coming back around.
Everything is cyclical. So eventually it will come back around and people will have mullets unironically. Outside the state of Alabama. Okay, yeah. We saw that. Thank you, Polo, for that. Lamar is down. Lamar is in the 10th. What a game. He's got Stroud and Burrow at quarterback, this guy. He's in 4th place. That's just a travesty.
Yeah, I have no idea. It's probably because
yeah! Never been more excited. The highlight of my day. Had a crappy day at the office. I can only imagine the smell is biblical. I can only imagine the smell smells like something right out of the Industrial Revolution. That's been sitting for like 30 years. That's
like poverty all over again.
That smells like coal and like 18th century England is what that smells like. Like that's definitely what that smells like. It smells like peasants. Smells like child labor. Change them bobbins in a factory. I'm glad at least somebody thinks I'm funny.
That and rotting human flesh. Perfect.
Yep. Oh my God. That is amazing. I cannot believe it. That's phenomenal. We're gonna get that. I'm gonna get that stream off the ground. Gonna go up and get some Cornish game hens. Get the money for that over to Anthony. We're just gonna do like a 24-hour live stream. We'll have to do a taste test and see if they actually are edible.
Mitchell had his first carry for positive yardage.
Good for him. Yeah, that doesn't change our answer. I'm not worried about that. I got to. Yes, the disgusting baster. Oh God.
Huh.
Yeah, if you have a squeamish stomach, yeah, that's yeah. My grandma had one of those. The food dehydrator. They still sell those. See, that's less of a meme because they still sell those, and then that ultimately evolved into the vacuum bag. So that really hasn't that's less of a meme. The Showtime grill died a horrible death. Like that for a good reason. Because it was stupid. Do you remember the Pizzazz pizza oven? Because that's the other one that is
roughly.
My brother had one. I think he probably still has one. What was funny about that is it actually worked great. Like, it was actually really awesome. It was basically just a scaled down version of those things that you see at like bowling alleys or a 7-Eleven. And you could have it in your house. But it actually worked well. And the tray they gave you was very easy to clean and you could put it in the dishwasher. See, that was one that was less funny because it actually worked. And we had one of those. And what was messed up about that is it eventually broke. And my brother liked it so much, he bought another one. And I'm like, dude, you are so weird. And I swear to God, I think he still has it. Like, and he's like, no, it's great. Like, it works well. And I'm like, okay. And then he's actually right. It does work well. But I digress. I am looking forward to the Showtime grill with the Cornish game hens. That is going to be the highlight of the season right there. Let's see. I had one of those too.
So
that's less of a meme because they sold so many of those too. They were so popular. Actually worked good though.
Yeah. Great burgers, caught the grease. Oh.
I used to do chicken breast on there because it was just easy. Like, you could just do it. And then you could make like chicken sandwiches basically, like, just on demand. You never really have to pay attention to it. You know what I mean? Like, you could just put it on there, kind of walk away for a couple minutes. It was impossible to set anything on fire because it was electric. Like, you'd have to be a total, like, I don't even know what you did. You have to like throw gasoline on it. Like I don't know what you would have to do to like burn that down. And yes, to your point, yeah, that's the other thing. Like the grease would drain off. That was the other reason you couldn't really burn anything down. It was a little nasty with the grease. You had to kind of
Yeah,
like
cleaning it off was gross.
cleaning it was a little nasty, but it worked good. I could see why that they sold those. Do you guys know the story about that?
Oh,
The George Foreman grill, about how that was almost called the Hulk Hogan grill. And I am not. This is something I actually learned in a marketing class that I took in college. So on the George Foreman and Hulk Hogan had the same agent, and this is before Hulk Hogan kind of got canceled, obviously. So they had two products that they were looking to tie to these individuals, and Foreman and Hogan got calls from the agent on the same day. And I guess Hogan was out. This was in the 90s, like late 90s, before you had like reliable cell phones everywhere. So you had an answering machine. So Hogan was out picking up his kids from school. That's the story Hulk Hogan has told. He was out picking his kids up from school, and he got home and he heard the message and he called his agent back. And he goes, "Oh, it's too late. Yeah, too late. George already came in and took the grill. Whatever." So that's why Hogan got the Hulk Hogan like toilet bowl cleaner that failed miserably, and George Foreman licensed one of the most best-selling products of like 20 years. They sold millions of the Foreman grill. Foreman made more money largely because Hulk Hogan had to go pick his kids up from school. I've heard Hogan tell this story on podcasts. He wasn't bitter at all. No, he wasn't bitter about that at all. Not at all. No, not at all. So this has been welcome to Neil's weird story time. You're welcome. You're welcome. Now you have this information. Do with it what you will. Tell that story at parties when there's an awkward silence, and the silence will get even more awkward. We'll do a real question. Would you trade away Olave for Steven?
I just don't like Pickens.
It's like even money.
Yeah, it's fine.
I feel like that's a fair deal, but I don't feel like that makes my team better.
Yeah,
unless I have really terrible running backs. If my running backs are crappy, and
well, he has
I'm
Hall,
really
clearly.
What's that?
He has Breece Hall.
Sure, but what's your RB2? If you have no RB2 and you're like putting Chuba Hubbard in there every week, you know what I mean?
You mentioned Herbert. I'm trying to think of what the other one was earlier. Let me see.
He was acquiring Herbert. He was getting Herbert. I'm assuming, based on the line of questioning, that Mike has really crappy second running backs. That's my theory here. Is that Mike's team has really terrible second running backs, and what he wants is to trade something to get an upgrade at running back that can help him.
I have RB, Christian McCaffrey, Breece Hall, Montgomery, and then Justin Jefferson. I'm assuming that's Devontae Smith and Olave.
Oh, this is some other conversation that I'm not privy to.
Right? The first thing he put up. Because that's what he was looking at. That's why I got confused with Herbert.
Based on that team, that doesn't feel like it's helping me.
Nope.
If that's the correct team, Mike, tell us in the comments, please, because I know you're here, unless you got scared off by my Hulk Hogan story. Put that in the comments, because if that's the correct team that Jason's referencing, then no, I would not do that. That doesn't feel like it's helping you. Read that off again, Jason. One more time. Read that off again to me.
Okay, it was CMC, David Montgomery, and Breece Hall.
Okay.
And then he also had Justin Jefferson, Olave, and oh my gosh,
Devonta Smith.
Yes, either Devontae Smith or Adams. It just said Devontae, so I'm not sure.
Okay, either way, that's fine.
Which one?
Did he say his tight end?
No.
Or his quarterbacks?
No.
Okay. I get the problem here, I think.
He's trying to upgrade for sure, but it's...
Yes, but I think... No, I think the real issue in the background is losing Jefferson for as long as he did. probably hurt his team, like hurt his season. You know what I mean? So now he's trying to like figure it out with 4 games to go, and it's like whatever you can do. But I'd love to know what your record is, Mike. I'd love to know if you're on the outside of the playoffs or if you're in the playoffs. Do you think? Okay. Daniel, standard pick 1, Connor Robinson, Ford, Brian Robinson, by the way. Brian Robinson.
It is Brian Robinson for me as well.
Yeah. See, everybody had a Foreman at some point. This is my point about why it was one of the best-selling products of like a 25-year period. I had one. Jason, did you have one? You had one?
Yeah.
My parents had one. Anthony seems to have all the weird appliances. Anthony and myself seem to split the weird kitchen appliances over. They all work great. Yeah. Yep. Chicken breast and tenders. Daniel had one. Like it was dummy proof. Like you literally you could not mess this up. Like it. And yes, Hogan messed up, man. Sucks being a dad. You got to go pick your kids up. Like miss out on money making opportunities. Miss out on all the money making opportunities. Yeah. Your parents had one. My parents had one. Exactly. Like Polo had one. I know people that still have them. You can still buy them. Like I remember going into Bed Bath and Beyond back before like a lot of them went out of business, and they had a whole like section where they had like different versions of it because they did. They had like they had the ones with the improved grease trap. They had the ones that were bigger. Did you ever see the really big one, Jason?
No, the closest one I saw was like you could fit 3 burgers on it.
No, they had one that was like the Foreman XL, where you could put like it was for like families. You could put like a ton of crap on there. We once had one. My buddy had one, and he was making like whole slabs of bacon on there. Like you could literally go over to the store and buy a pack of bacon, and you could just put the whole pack of bacon on it in one shot. So it was designed for like families and stuff, and like that was a good idea. There were a couple of different versions of it over time, so it was. All right, good night, everybody. I'm done. That's it. I got nothing funnier than that. I'm done. I don't have a better joke than that. I'm just gonna move on, Polo, because I can't top it, so I can't beat it. So we're moving on. Put parsley on that grilled cheese sandwich.
I did try to do a salmon on there.
That probably wouldn't work. I don't think you could get the right sear. I don't think that's gonna work well.
Yeah, didn't quite work.
Yeah, they did. They had the bun warmer on top. That's a real thing. Look it up. Like that's what I'm saying. They made so many versions of this stupid product. It was unbelievable. It's ridiculous. Yeah, Hogan did have a reality show and then lost a lot of his money in the divorce and the lawsuits, by the way. And then made all of his money, by the way, back suing Gawker and getting Gawker shut down. We've broken Jason. Jason's just left. He's left the show. Jason's retired, everybody. I'm sorry. We finally did it. We've broken him.
I still can't believe this bun warmer thing, too.
You want to share your screen just to show the audience? Because if people haven't seen it, it's worth seeing. Oh, it's incredible. It's an incredible product.
Let's see here.
But yeah, Hogan had a reality show, made money off that, lost all his money in the divorce, and then the surrounding lawsuits. Then made all his money back suing Gawker and getting them shut down, only to then lose all of his money again for going on a gigantic racist tirade. What a roller coaster. The roller coaster that is Hulk Hogan. The more I learned about Hulk Hogan, the less I wanted to know. Honestly. It was incredible. It was absolutely incredible. And yes, we will now. Here, did you find it?
Yeah.
Yeah. See, I'm not. No, no one can make that up, dude. They literally had the bun warmer one. I remember this. I knew a lady when I was younger who had one of these. It was ridiculous. You could basically with this, Jason, you could basically make White Castle at your house. No, I'm not kidding. Like you could. Like it's the same idea. Because you could start the patties on the grill, right? But White Castle is basically a sous vide. And that's what that bun warmer does. So you could pretty much make White Castles at your house with this. They did have the Hogan coaster. Yes, that's the other product he had. You can Google that too. Feel free. Actually, maybe don't do that before maybe I should kill the screen share before. I don't know what's going to come up on a Google image search. If we type this in, go ahead. I'll take my life into my hands. This is a risky click, folks.
Thunderlips?
No, that's not what. Oh, I get it. The Hogan coaster. I'm a moron. I'm a moron. I'm a moron. I get Anthony's doing a joke and I'm too slow. I'm slow. Kill this. I said roller coaster and he said the Hogan coaster. I forgot. It's not Hogan coaster. There was a coaster that existed that had wheels on it at one point called the roller coaster. So you could roll your drink down the bar. That idea has been invented multiple times. I didn't come up with that. That idea has been around like forever. Really, the new wave oven sucked. I can't imagine that ever worked. I can't imagine that anybody even knows what I'm talking about. Yes. Yeah. I'll tell you the way it is, brother. I'm gonna sue Gawker and then lose all my money in a giant racist tirade. Like, that's Hulk Hogan. Like, Mike's back. Okay, cool. Okay, that is the correct team. Okay, good. Okay. Then no. Yeah. If that's what I have, then no. It is Devonta. Josh Allen at quarterback. If I was going to do something like what you're talking about now, I might be looking at tight ends tomorrow. And you're in the playoffs. Okay, I don't think you need to tinker with this the way you are. I think I might just ride it out. I don't know that you need to tinker at that level. If I was going to trade anything, it might be Devonta Smith, but at the same time, he has a really good playoff run.
Well, and Goddard's going to miss.
And Goddard's going to miss maybe not the rest of the season, but a lot of it.
Yeah, 3 or 4 weeks.
They refuse to put him on IR, so we don't know. Okay, that clears that up. We've done our sufficient waste of time on talking about various kitchen products. Weird way this show has gone the last couple of weeks, but I'm having fun, and I think the audience is too. And then we'll tell weird wrestling stories that have nothing to do with wrestling, but more about weird products those people endorse, because I know way too much about that. If you ever wonder what they teach you in college, if you go for marketing, you learn about stuff like that.
Oh, I learned more about.
I
learned more about what are those things called? Beef jerky. Like the different branding of beef jerky, like high quality, and that's what I learned from my classes. Was like the different like offshoots of.
Huh. I don't know much about that.
No? There's some really like high end beef jerky that makes it better, more natural, and yeah, it's crazy.
The best beef jerky I ever had comes from a little old man who lives in southern Colorado that has the cows that are his cows that he kills himself, and he hangs that crap in a barn, and then he sells it in giant strips on the side of the road. That's the best beef jerky I've ever had. It's not close. That guy spoke virtually no English, and I've never been happier. That guy was maybe 4'11". He was not a big dude. 18 PPR. Pick one to drop.
Probably Williams.
Yeah. It's either Williams or Ford. Williams or Ford.
Yeah. Package one and ship it off.
Yeah, I would. If I was going to have to drop it, I'd try to trade it first.
Yeah, dude. 2 for 1. Quick as you can.
Yeah, I'd try to grab a 2 for 1 on that. Free up a roster spot. Let's see.
But I definitely don't want Williams.
Yep. Mixon receiving touchdown. After we told everybody to sit Gus Edwards and Mixon, we're off to a hot start here tonight, Jason.
Also the fact that Jackson's potentially hurt.
Yeah, that's not helping.
And then Andrews is
also. That's also not helping.
That doesn't help our case.
All right, PPR.
Yep.
Flex has Dell in. I'm leaving Dell in.
Correct.
That's fine. He was in Rocky 3. I completely forgot.
Yeah. I was like,
okay, and then we'll do with Andrews down. I have
Pat.
I think it's pretty close. I don't like either.
Well, Freiermuth has a better schedule for tight end.
Freiermuth has
Is
to
he-
get off IR at some point. Like,
Well, he is going to play this weekend. It's
no, they say that, but they haven't officially activated him yet.
I understand
So-
that, but he's
Well, you're running out
trending.
of days, homie. Like they got like 2 days to do it. Like,
But he plays so Bengals, Cardinals, Patriots, Colts, Bengals.
I agree, it's not bad. It's just he's got to get healthy and get out there. If they don't reactivate him, you're probably playing Pitts, and
Yeah.
I hate everything about it, but it is what
What you
it
can
is.
find in Njoku.
Yeah, but Njoku's not widely available. Good rest of the season schedule. But yeah, Conklin has a good playoff schedule. Whichever Chargers tight end they decide to use has a good one. Jake Ferguson has a good one.
Logan Thomas, TJ
Laporta
Hawkinson.
has a good one. So does Kincaid. What Thomas?
Logan Thomas.
Oh, Logan Thomas.
But they just haven't been targeting him as much, which hurts him.
It's okay. Logan Thomas, I also am always afraid is any minute now. Any minute now. It's like that time people don't make fun of Nate Burleson anymore because he was so good on Good Morning Football that has like a real career. But I still remember when like he fell down the stairs and tore his ACL, and they said it was because he was getting a pizza and was trying to carry it awkwardly and fell down the stairs. And I'm like, that is not. And they've asked him about that later, and he's like, that's not what happened. And I'm like, no, no, really. That sounds like this kind of story I would tell. Like that is not that is not a thing. Like if that happened, it's because your blood alcohol was at like 0.8. Well, I think we'll probably split this.
Maybe not this week. Everett's been missing practice, so I'm going to go Parham.
Yeah, this is going to be the problem, Polo, is that the position has a very nice schedule, but they won't commit to a guy, which makes it hard to rate either one of them very highly. So rest of season, I have Everett at like 23, and then Parham is like, God, it would be higher if they would ever like commit to a guy, but they don't.
Well, or if Parham can stay healthy.
Parham is at 30, and it's because Parham can't stay healthy is the other issue. And by the way, both of them are questionable this week, just to be clear. Everett's questionable and Parham's questionable. Everett is more. Well, yeah, I know, but they're still both technically questionable. Everett is more questionable, but they're both questionable officially. It's I don't like that either. Okay, let's find a better one. I don't like that either. Let's look.
Conklin.
Is Conklin available? Is K. Dot available? Is Luke Musgrave available? I don't feel like great about that. Jonnu Smith, maybe. Logan Thomas, Taysom Hill, even Pitts. I mean, you got to go pretty far down for me to get to, I'm assuming, Mayer. I would prefer to not do Mayer for much longer because his schedule gets harder for tight end.
And they're going to be running a lot.
And they're going to be running a lot, as we saw. So things I like better than Mayer. Hunter Henry, K. Dotton for sure. Musgrave by a nose. Njoku, Jonnu, Logan Thomas, Taysom Hill, Pitts if he was available. It would depend on what's available. I don't know that I could commit to fudge. This game is awful. Everyone's hurt. Oh, that really hurts me in a league. Oh, that hurts me pretty badly.
Nope. 2 broke for it. Doesn't matter to me. I didn't get any good quarterbacks.
That hurts me. That's not great. Who am I dropping off this list? Jesus.
Puka?
I guess.
It's Puka or Johnson.
Or Olave, I guess. Like, this sucks.
Yeah, this is brutal.
I don't want to drop any of that. That's all stuff I want. I get the question. Jeez. I gotta look at that. That's insane.
So while you're looking that up, QB start of the week.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. Russell Wilson versus the Vikings. Love the matchup. I love that they've actually been moving the ball. Williams is back in. His catching passes is really opening up the offense for that team. And it's the Vikings, who have shown signs of life, but I still like that as a good option. And then already touched my sit of the week, which is Tua versus the Raiders. I just think they're going to be able to run all over them, and I'm not worried about it having to be a whole lot. I wouldn't be surprised if both Hill and Chan get passing touchdowns, but not enough for me to believe that he's going over 220 yards passing.
In that situation, Daniel, it's probably actually Higgins because he's hurt again. He's been hurt all year, and now if Burrow's going to miss time with a shoulder, it's definitely Higgins. If that's the case, because I don't care who the backup is. That's the end of that. Their season's over if Burrow's hurt for real.
Oh, looks like Lamar's back in.
Yeah. Let's see how this game goes. Anyway. What were we doing? QB start of the week?
Start and sit. Yep.
Yeah, okay.
A little harder this week.
Yeah, this week sucks. Oh no, I know what I was gonna do. Sorry, it took me a second to get back to it. It's Dobbs. Largely because Denver's weakness is not its secondary, which is not surprising. It's their run defense. Well, what does Dobbs like to do? He's gonna run. There's gonna be a lot of running in that game. There's gonna be running in the morning and running in the evening and running at supper time. And it's gonna be when pizza's on a bagel, you can run on Denver anytime. And if you get that joke, it's time to schedule a prostate exam. Just so we're clear. Like that is even by my standards, that's a deep cut. So yeah, no, you want Dobbs if you can get him. It's a good streaming option this week. Largely, I don't even know if Dobbs throws a touchdown, honestly, but he might run for 2. So yeah, that's especially
if he is, it's probably going to be Hawkinson who catches it,
especially with their crappy running back situation. Okay, and then let's do running back right quick. Just go straight into running back.
All right, Jerome Ford versus the Steelers. Again, good defense, but I expect him to see a majority of the work. It's going to be not an ideal situation, and like you said, DTR is probably going to have to lean on the run some. He was the one that I felt was the most comfortable with being outside of the top 24 that I'd move into it.
Okay.
And he's on the edge. So the fact that he's catching passes also helps.
Yeah. This week is also really brutal, just as an FYI, folks. It's pretty brutal. Because you got 4 teams on a bye. So for me, you'll notice a theme. It's Ty Chandler. He's not good, but he's going to get volume more than likely because I'm dubious that Madison plays. And even if he does, what has that been? So Chandler had 10 carries last week and he didn't get the start. I think he does get the start this week. And I think there's a very real Anthony. These guys get my stupid jokes. Even Jason didn't get that joke. But yeah, it's Ty Chandler for the same reasons I stated. C Dobbs, Josh. Same idea. Anybody running the ball against Denver is a good choice. So fire him up this week. I don't know how I feel about Chandler the rest of the season, but for this week I do like it. Who's your sit?
Isaiah Pacheco versus the Eagles. Eagles really haven't allowed any big runs. It's been a tough matchup. Don't think they've even allowed a touchdown to a running back this year. So if it has, I think it was 1. So don't trust it. And the fact that their secondary sucks. So I expect a lot of Travis Kelce. Travis Kelce is about to eat him alive.
Oh my god. For me, it's not to pile on people, but it's James Cook. That game was drunk on Monday night. That game would never have passed a field sobriety test. He fumbled the ball and it bounced back into his hands, and he just ran for it's all in one play.
Yep.
They
Annoying.
did. I will say he looked motivated after.
After his first fumble.
Yeah, he looked. I think he's starting to realize oh god, I might actually lose my job. So and then we'll have to see. But I don't know what the new coaching play calling split is with Joe Brady. I don't know a lot of things about this anymore. As I said, I want James Cook off my team. I'm going to be trying to get James Cook off my team in every league where I have him this week before the playoffs. So I don't want to deal with it anymore. And he had a good game. He scored 14. So if people didn't watch that game, they might not know. I want him gone.
He got real lucky.
He got real lucky.
It was so annoying.
He got very lucky. And so, yeah, if people just look at box scores, they won't know that 14 points that he had in PPR is all, or it was somewhere between 12 and 14. I don't remember exactly what it was. Well, whatever that was, it's all smoke and mirrors. Yeah, it was all an illusion. He played like garbage, but he did look really motivated once he got back off the bench. So, we gotta hustle a little bit here. So we'll do wide receiver. Just go straight into it. Go.
Quentin Johnston versus the Packers. Packers again. I expect Allen to be out there, which means if Alexander plays, he's likely going to cover him. Johnston actually saw an uptick in usage last week. I'm really thinking there's a lot of potential there. Absolutely love him, just because of that and the fact that they will throw. I'm not worried about this game. I think he catches another touchdown to keep that train rolling now that he's caught his first.
Okay. For me, it's Noah Brown, but that's only if he plays. If Noah Brown plays, my God, that's a good matchup.
Yep.
If he does not play, which is looking like it might be a thing, then we go to Jaden Reed. Really,
I was looking at too.
Yeah, Jaden Reed against the Chargers is a really interesting situation. He draws a very favorable matchup against your two corner, and then also who I forget the gentleman's name, but I saw his ratings on PFF earlier, and I'm like, holy crap, that guy needs to get cut. Holy cow, it's like a turnstile. He's letting everybody go. Jaden Reed has been seen, and I talk about this for those who watch the Tuesday show. I've been talking about this all year. Jaden, especially recently, Jaden Reed has been seeing an uptick in usage, targets. He really seems to be developing a rapport. Why am I forgetting? Jordan Love. He's really developing a rapport with Love, and he's kind of developing into the player that I thought he could be in the preseason, which is the true wide receiver 2 for the Packers. There's a reason they drafted him. He's perfect for their system, and he's the perfect flanker for what they need. So they should get him involved, and they have been. And he's not been boom or bust. He's been very consistent. And so if you're looking for a guy who's going to get you between 10, 12 points, I mean, you could do worse. And I think this week he might have an opportunity to score. Really good matchup. So he should be involved. And then who's your sit?
Jacoby Myers versus the Dolphins.
Yeah. Sure.
Ever since Aiden's come in, been rough. The fact that they aren't throwing it because they're going feed Jacobs is you're really hoping for a touchdown. And Miami's defense is actually getting healthy. So I'm curious.
Wow, he's been dropping, but it still counts.
Barely.
It still counts.
I was like, he was at 33, so I'm like, I'm definitely flipping that one.
Gross. All of this is gross. Well, for me, it's Amari Cooper and the theme of kicking people while they're down. Amari Cooper will have no actual quarterback throwing to him. It's basically a jugs machine with a jersey. That's my opinion of DTR. It's jugs machine and a jersey would be better from what that's my level of expectations. That is not going to go well. That's not going to go well at all against a pretty good Steelers defense. That's not going to go good. No wanty. Find something else. Do you have any idea how desperate I would need to be to play Amari Cooper this week? I have Amari Cooper at 45. So I hate Amari Cooper this week. I am an outlier even amongst outliers. I do not. You would have to pay me to put Amari Cooper in there. What things I would rather play than Amari Cooper include Christian Watson, who's been brutal. George Pickens, who's been brutal. Jaden Reed, who's been good. I would be considering Michael Wilson. I would legitimately be looking at that like, I don't know, maybe. We might have to do
Moore
it.
would be
What's that?
Rondale Moore first, and then Wilson.
Yeah, sure. What? You get my point.
Yeah.
Like, all right, we'll do a question. This is the last question. Actually, it doesn't have to be the last question, but it's the last question in the chat, and then we'll do tight end, and then I think we might be done. Because we're getting to halftime. Go ahead.
Godwin, Dell, Johnston. Yes.
Yeah, that's fine. No, Godwin, Dell, Johnson. Sure, it's Godwin and Dell for sure, and then it's a dice roll for the last three. Judy is not long for this world in Denver, and I don't know how you could really justify starting him. And then Myers is not seeing the volume that he needs to be successful with the adjustment and scheme, and they are trying to get Johnson more involved because they kind of have to. They don't really have a choice in that anymore.
Yeah, Palmer being out for another 2
That's
weeks.
a thing they got to do. They don't really have much of an option. So, go ahead and do tight end real quick.
Tyler Conklin versus the Bills. Shouldn't be surprising. But as Neil has said, he's seeing a lot of targets. It's been an upgrade every week. He's been very solid, getting you close to double digits in PPR. Specifically, the past, I think, 3 weeks, he's hit that mark. And so it's hard to get away from somebody that is going to hit 10 fantasy points. And the Bills aren't great against the tight end. So that also benefits him.
Gus Edwards is at 4 carries for 7 yards and a score.
Also has a reception.
That's a fun stat.
Nelson Aguilar scored.
Nelson Aguilar has the 37-yard touchdown, just like we all had it. Everybody had that. Odell Beckham is 1 for 30.
Yeah, that was the one I thought would have the touchdown. Because the one thing the Bengals really suck at is that deep ball. So if you
everything about this game is grody. It's disgusting. I feel gross. I need a shower. Might need a couple of them. That's just horrible. Everything is bad. Big bad. By the way, tight end, if I haven't mentioned it, is like this hideous tire fire. It's just this unbelievable tire fire right now. Conklin was actually the choice. So, because it's a good matchup against Buffalo and he's getting volume. So that's like the gold standard of streaming tight end this week. So that's just the way that it is. Don't worry. He got the receiving touchdown, but this game is going to go soup sandwich here in a hurry if Burrow's out for the rest of the day. Let me tell you right now. If it's whatever the backup's guy's name is, this game is going to get very out of control immediately. So you're I don't know what you're rooting for necessarily, but that's kind of where it's going to go.
Jake Browning.
What? Sure. That's the brand. That might as well be your random name generator to me. It's like Aiden O'Connell, who I keep referring to as the Madden creative character.
He looks exactly like Derek Carr. It blows me away when
he looks like a Madden creative character. He looks like an AI algorithm of what generic random white people look like. That's and that also is what Derek Carr looks like, by the way. That's and I said looks like, by the way, for a reason. So don't get your litigible claim out of here. I said looks like, not is. But by the way, tight end is super brutal this week. So yeah, if you can get Conklin, do that. The only other option that I have is it's Cade Otton, and you're praying like hell that game goes in the tank and they go hurry up, and Cade Otton's just standing there at 5 yards down the field, just wide open while they're dealing with everybody. That's what you're praying for. I don't feel great about it because it's not really a good matchup against the 49ers, but that's kind of what you're hoping for. All right, we got a couple questions, and then we're going to sign off here, folks. Go enjoy halftime, and then we will see you on Sunday. And then we do have a quick PSA on the way out the door here for next week because it's the holiday. But Daniel, wait, already did that. There it is. All right, last one. Pick one in PPR.
God, it's close. It's either Williams or Lockett.
I think because it's PPR, I'm going to go with the wide receiver and lock it there.
Yeah. I'm gonna go Javante on volume. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do Javante just based on volume.
He's finally got it. He's healthy. He's looking
Yeah,
good with it.
they've realized that I did this on Tuesday too. So just real quick, they figured this out to a point, which is this: Russell Wilson is now a game manager. They let him throw it 29 times. They never let him throw any kind of meaningful ADOT anymore. That's over. His new job is to be the Russell Wilson from Seattle, except a lesser version of that because he's older and less athletic. So now his job is to game manage, don't take chances, and this offense now runs through Javonte Williams. This, if you've been watching their last couple games, they figured something out during the bye, which is, hey, Russ, we're not going to let you cook anymore. That's all done. I don't want to hear about it. And if you want to be here, you're going to shut up and do what I say. And that's what Sean Payton has decided. Basically, their last couple games and the games they've won critically looks a lot like the old Seattle offense. They went back to what Russell knows, which is play action, 3-step drop back, ball out, and then play action, get the ball out of your hand. You're going to do some running. I know you don't want to run anymore when you're over 30. I don't care. If you want to be here, you're going to do it, and you're going to deal with the consequences to your body, or you can go play somewhere else. And that's just going to be how that goes. And the days of Nathaniel Hackett, let Russ cook, Golden Boy, nope. This is Javonte Williams' team. They're a run first team. That's what it's going to be, and it's going to be what that team looks like now is the old Seattle offense with a couple of Sean Payton twists, and that's about it. That's what it's going to be. So, why that matters? It actually makes Russell Wilson kind of like a low-end QB2 in fantasy, because if he's not going to take chances and they're going to make him run the ball, yeah, that's attractive. Because he's not gonna turn the ball over, and he's gonna be able to move the ball little by little. It also makes me feel better about Sutton, because that's gonna be the old Mike kept saying Michael Thomas, but it's, if you want to go to a Seattle example, it's gonna be Doug Baldwin, the possession guy, where it's like, nope, you run over there and I'm gonna throw the ball to you. And that's just gonna be how it is. And they're not gonna be pushing the ball down the field. They want to try and ground and pound, control the clock, make their defense win it, and make Russell limit the turnovers, try to score 21 to 24 points a game. And if they can do that, honestly, I think they might actually win some football games. Not enough to go to the playoffs, but enough to destroy any chance of getting a good draft pick for sure. So, like, they could beat Minnesota. That is not outside the realm of possibility. I don't think they will, but they could beat Minnesota on Sunday. That would not shock me at this point if they beat Minnesota with their third quarterback of the year or whatever it is technically now. No worries, Daniel. No worries. Okay, so we're going to get out of here in a second. Enjoy the second half of the game, guys. Really appreciate all the fun. Had a lot of fun tonight. A lot of fun interaction. So yeah, no, super fun. And Anthony will talk more in the background about the Showtime Grill. We're going to get that on the stream. It's going to be great. But for next week, for those of you who've been with us for the last couple of years, I think you know we adjust the schedule for Thanksgiving because there's Thursday games, and also because people are traveling and trying to spend time with their families and all that nonsense. So for next week, for 1 week only, we're going to do what we usually do, which is adjust the schedule. So next week's schedule, Jason will be on Monday to do the wire. No changes there. Tuesday for making the cut. We are not doing making the cut on Tuesday. And you know it is. We are not doing making the cut on Tuesday. Roster the People is going to be on Wednesday with a special guest who you may be seeing more of, Lance Exley, who works with us on the Guillotine Show, making the cut on Tuesdays. Lance is going to be on with us, so we're going to have 3 people. It's going to be the old format for those of you who've been with us from before. It's going to be the old 3-man format. So we're going to bring Lance on. He's going to work with us on Wednesday. So bring your Guillotine questions should you have them. We're going to combine the shows because it makes no sense to do a Tuesday show and then come back and do a show on Wednesday. That is pointless. So we're just going to combine the shows. and we're going to do a combo show of Making the Cut and Roster the People. That will be on Wednesday at the same time, 7 o'clock Central, 8 o'clock Eastern, 6 o'clock Mountain, if you live in Mountain like I do. That's what we're going to do on Wednesday. It's going to be a lot of fun. Some of you probably have not been exposed to Lance yet, so this will be entertaining. That's going to be Wednesday, and then the rest of the schedule does not change. Mason and Vishal are going to do Locked In on Friday. For some reason, those degenerates are literally not even going to pre-record that show. They're going to live stream it on Black Friday. I admire the dedication. And then on Sunday, we will be on for the final countdown. So that is next week's schedule, folks. Don't say we didn't warn you. The lobbies have already been created. The notifications are already there. So yeah, we're gonna see Polo now. See, we're gonna have the 3-man show. And so we're gonna have Lance on with us in the background. So I'm looking forward to it. I hope you guys are too. We'll talk to you next week before Thanksgiving. Enjoy the second half, and we will see you. We'll see some of you on Friday for Locked In, for the degeneracy that is Locked In, and then we will see a lot of you on Sunday for the final countdown. Get your last-minute questions in. Some of these questions got answered tonight. Circle back with us on Sunday because things may change as we have more, injury reports and things and data and things to sift through. Also, if you got killed on Thursday night, you might be looking for some alternate answers because you might need to swing for the fences.
Jalen Guyton might be one of those answers.
Oh, God. Okay. So tune in for the Jalen Guyton show on Sunday on the final countdown. I had a feeling this might happen. But we will see you on Friday, some of you on Sunday. But until then, enjoy the second half and keep up the nonsense. We will catch up with you folks here a little bit later.